Welcome back, everyone. Well, as we all know, we just went through an election, and in the city of Saratoga Springs, we have a new mayor. It's somebody that I've talked to a number of times over the years, different reasons, and it's Ron Kim. So I called him up and asked him to join us so he could tell us why, in God's name, he decided to run for mayor and what he intends to do about it. So, hello, Ron.
Hi, thanks for having me, Jesse. I appreciate the invitation.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Well, first, congratulations. Hard
Thank you.
fought and hard won.
Thank you.
How's it feel?
It's gratifying and a little bit humbling when you win, in the sense that you get the support of the community, but you have this responsibility that to really do your best, and so you have both the humbling and the gratification of winning. It's tempers your sort of it tempers you a little bit.
Yeah, I bet it does. Did you find that you went, be careful what you wish for?
Oh, yeah, sure. But I think in the process of going through the transition and meeting people, it's also been a lot of positive reinforcement that, we had a great community. We have some challenges, but, there's a lot to look forward to.
Well, Saratoga is a very, very dynamic community. My wife and I have been a part of it for decades, and but it's got to do with the diversity of opinion, right? And just all kinds of issues. And all anyone has to do is watch a city council meeting to know that people are not afraid to voice their opinions. And it's a handful, as you well know. It's a handful. You mentioned transition. What goes on during this transition period?
Well, I thought it was a priority to meet the employees of City Hall, particularly the ones that I'm going to be working with. And so Meg Kelly, the current mayor, was good enough to arrange sort of a time when I could sit down with the folks that work for the mayor's office. There's about 70 people that are actively employed with the mayor's office. We have the planning, the rec department, code enforcement, a portion of the code enforcement. So it was a really good opportunity for me to sort of sit down and talk to them, both as a group and one-on-one, and sort of hear what a mayor can help them and how the mayor can make their jobs miserable. And in an election, you don't really talk about the specific parts of managing a workforce and how important that is to get the job done. And so I thought that was a really important part of the transition, and we did that immediately, and that's been a really good process.
That's a very important thing to do, especially when you consider our form of government, which is very different than a lot of other cities and municipalities across the state. That so much of the success in your position has to do with relationship building. You really have to know people, right?
Yeah, and that's why I'm hopeful also, because the three other city council members who are going to be walking in the door with me on January 1, we've known each other now pretty intimately for 6 months, been working together on the shared project of getting elected, and now we'll work on the shared project of making sure that Saratoga has a transparent, open, and accountable government. So I'm looking forward to working with these people.
Boy, what you just labeled there, transparent form of government, people, they yearn for that, Ron. They really do. They want to know. Very typical in politics. You get a 100-day plan, right? A lot of times people, I'm talking about consumers here, or the public in general, spend a lot of time or more attention in those first 100 days, getting to know you and getting to know your administration and getting to know how it operates. What are you setting as your priorities for those first 100 days?
So some of them are what we heard knocking on doors. Some of this is not just in my office, but certainly we're going to be implementing or addressing some of the police reform. that that was discussed in the last administration, and we'll certainly, I think you'll see some accomplishments on that front, not only a civilian review board, but also adopting some of the other recommendations. In addition to that, we heard a lot about the issue of homelessness in our city and how we address that. I think we're going to have some concrete accomplishments in that manner. I'm also, I think it's very important that we hit the ground running on infrastructure. We now have in place a Build Back Better through the Biden administration and Congress. I've already talked to Congressman Tonko, and we want to get out there and discuss with the residents of Saratoga Springs what their priorities are and what we think are the important issues that need to be addressed. So we want to have a two-way conversation, and we're going to do that right away, because this money is going to be out there for applications, and we need to move forward on that. This is really a chance that doesn't come very often. When I was commissioner in 2005, we went rattling our cup around to the various federal authorities, senators, et cetera, looking for money to build an East Side fire station at the time, and they told us this money isn't available. It only comes at certain times when Congress moves. Well, Congress moved, now we have to move.
Yeah, got it. Boy, you hit the priorities that immediately came to my mind. And I'm sure that means that those are the priorities that come to a lot of people's minds. I'm not sure that people really understand Build Back Better. I was reading something this morning that just suggested people don't have a clue what it is. In reality, what you just said is very, very important. This is a significant program that's going into effect, that the earlier you understand it and the earlier you get there as the leader of our city, to be able to get in there and say, all right, what applications do we need to fill out? How can we make certain that we participate in this? That's seriously important when something like this rolls down. Because like you said, man, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, perhaps, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got it.
Really important.
Yeah, I totally agree. If I've got it right, inauguration is January 1st.
Yes.
Give or take whatever it is, it's January 1st.
Yes, and one of the things we're also doing right now in the transition is planning that. We had sort of a sort of ideal in mind. We're now sort of addressing, if given the COVID arise, how we adjust. We certainly want to have a live presentation for this, but we also want to be safe and make sure that this event doesn't continue to make this terrible pandemic spike in our area. And unfortunately, right now, we're seeing some unprecedented cases. But by the way, we're going to also, on day one, announce a COVID response team that will be focused on Saratoga Springs. There's a lot of good information out there between CDC, the county, and all the rest of the stuff. But we also want to make sure that the Saratoga residents have a place where they can get information, get a response on specifically what our city's doing. And so we're gonna have that. That's going to be something I'm working with the Commissioner of Public Safety, Jim Montanino, who's incoming Commissioner of Public Safety.
Yeah, that's seriously important. We run into it all the time. I interview a lot of people, Ron, and misinformation is one thing, right? But also current information, because you hear Omicron and all of a sudden, well, what does that mean in terms of Delta? Does it mean my vaccine works? Having a response team is a great way to reach out to the community and let them know that they've got a place to go to get information. I think that's,
and sometimes just saying, well, we don't know yet, is not all we can do, but it has an odd way of at least making people feel like, wow, there's somebody here that's looking at this, and that's important for our city. And so we're going to do that.
Yeah, gotcha. One last question. So when, let me see, being a mayor takes about 26 hours a day, I think, maybe 27 hours a day. So what are you going to do in your downtime to sort of shake it off?
Well, we're expecting a grandchild, our first grandchild in March. So my wife is very excited. I'm very excited for that. You know, we've always enjoyed like getting out and meeting people and going to events that you know. So we one thing about being the mayor, people want to see you. That'll still be something that, even though it's part of the mayor's role, it also, we enjoy that. We're looking forward to that part, and we're already involved in that. We just went to the Saratoga casino, where they were giving on Giving Tuesday. We're giving away, I mean, they gave $100,000 away to various local charities, and that to me is really what, if I had an overall goal of what I want to do as a mayor, is to build our community, and those are the kinds of activities that build community, and I'll certainly be involved in those, and my wife loves those things too, because it really, that's the most important thing I think a mayor can do, particularly at this moment in time, is to build our community. We've gone through COVID. We've had lots of other issues that have torn us apart. Now we need to find ways to come together. And that's, to me, will be my job one.
Oh, man. That's really very refreshing to hear, Ron. Congratulations to you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Okay, so keep us posted. We're going to have a lot to talk about in the years to come. Okay.
Love to talk to you.
Yeah,
Take
likewise.
care.
You take care.
I'll see you. Bye-bye.